Hey up, and a warm welcome back to the Peak District. And I say warm welcome because it's September the 25th today and it's about 15 degrees, but it should be colder. And just look at this, all this, sorry to digress from the intro, just a pile of rubbish. Why? Anyway, so yeah, it should be autumn now, and I'm just walking through Snake Woodland, and I thought to do the intro because when we get up and out of the woodland it's going to be very windy, so I don't know what the sound recording is going to be quite like. Anyway, so last video was the roaches, and at the end of that video I talked about getting an additional video camera to complement the Pocket Osmo 2, or maybe replace it. I'm not going to shout too loud because it's behaving at the minute. I've just started the ball rolling on getting the Z30, and I'm selling some of my gear. I have a Fuji X Pro 1 and 3 lenses. I'm selling them to mpb.com, and I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but you never know, in about 5 years maybe. So the process to sell through MPB is quite straightforward actually. I was quite impressed. Go onto the site, you click that you want to sell, you search for the items that you're selling, and you indicate the condition of the items, and you get an instant quote. And that's quite impressive. So this is my quote on screen now, and the kit is being picked up in a couple of days. It's being picked up by DPD and taken to mpb.com, and they'll inspect it and they'll either agree on the price or they'll disagree, and will agree to disagree. I don't know. So what I'll do in the next video, I'll share my experience of dealing with mpb.com, and maybe I'll be filming with a new camera. So today we've parked up on the A57 Snake Pass Road, the lay-by opposite Snake Woodland. The sun's been up about 20 minutes, the wind's been up for the past 2 days, and I'm heading for Snake Path. Now Snake Path, if you follow it all the way up, this is up at the minute where I'm going, and you'll notice I'm starting to get out of breath. If you follow Snake Path all the way up, and I mean all the way up, eventually you can get to Kinder Downfall, Kinder Scout and Kinder Reservoir. We're not going all that way today. We're in search of a waterfall, and I came here earlier in the year to find this waterfall, and for one reason or another I turned back and I photographed this woodland, and I may come back later and take some shots here. It's not looking autumnal at all, but it still looks very nice, so it might be worth a shot later. But I'm heading up to what could be the waterfall with no name. Now a video was made here by Gary Norman, and he called it Saukin Ridge Waterfall. Now I'm assuming that Snake Path goes all the way up Saukin Ridge. That's why he's called it Saukin Ridge Waterfall, because I cannot find it on any map, and I've continued to do research since then, and every map I've looked at has not given this waterfall a name. Now I have watched a video by a couple of walkers. He's not here. I don't know where he is today. He's not. He has got a new camera, and I know he's waiting for a lens to arrive. So maybe he's not gone out today. I don't know. Come on, Osmo, keep up. So I watched this video with the walkers, and they walk up Snake Path, and they do come to this waterfall. So I'm going to follow that path. And also beyond the waterfall, there was a derelict building. Now, after the last video of barns and derelict buildings in Roach End, I might give that a go as well, the derelict building. Depends how far away it is from the waterfall. Conditions, windy, the trees over there are bending the higher we get. There's blue sky at the minute, but it might cloud over later, because what I don't like when photographing waterfalls is sunshine. We don't want sunshine with waterfalls. Anyway, I'm going to put this away now, make my way up onto the path and get to this waterfall, and if the wind is just too vicious, I'll narrate. Right, I'm close up to the waterfall now, and it's actually quite nice. It's a worthy waterfall. It's definitely worth a name. So probably, yeah, Saukin Ridge. Let's stick to the name, Saukin Ridge Waterfall. And composition-wise, I'm finding myself that I want to be on the other side. I'm finding I want to be on the other side over there to look back, because it's kind of tucked into the right here. And the only way I can really improve this shot from what I'm getting at the minute is to move onto the rock slightly, which has got potential to get wet. So it probably is a Wellington boot job, but I'm going to see what I can come up with, certainly before the sun comes round. So I found a nice composition here. The problem is that the sun at the moment, it's still not gone down behind the hillside, So I'm going to wait until it's gone down, and I'm going to utilise these rocks in front of me. And I'm also going to use these two cascades kind of in the foreground there from the main waterfall. So the main waterfall's set back at the moment in this first composition, but I do like the way the water is flowing down between the two rocks here, and then you've got the two other cascades just behind it. Those initial shots, I'm not really sure that I got what I really wanted. The problem was the sunlight catching on those rocks, which didn't allow me to get that first composition, didn't allow me to get the light right in that first composition. So I think looking at this, it might be the intimate shots that work better. But I would certainly come back to this waterfall on a non-sunlight day, on a flat light day, because there's definitely a shot to be had down there, looking back against the waterfall with the cascades. Whoa, I really do need a new camera. With the cascades in the foreground, definitely a shot there, but intimate. So I'm going to do some intimate shots now, then I'm going to go and see how far this derelict building is. So at work, I talk to a lot of people, and somehow we get onto the subject of photography, and we start looking at each other's phones and looking at images. And I spoke to one chap a while back now, and he really loved his phone, really loved his mobile phone, but he wanted to take things a step further. So he asked me what he needed, and I started to reel off all the things he was going to need. So camera, whether it be DSLR or mirrorless or compact, depending what he wanted to do. Spare lenses, extra lenses, filters, tripod, computer, software to process the images, learn how to use the software, and it went on. And I could see the cogs turning. Could see them, you could feel them, hear them grinding as he thought about all this. And he says, yeah, I'll have a look into it. I'll have a look on my phone and price everything up. So anyway, a few days later, I caught up with him and I said, how did you get on then? He said, I think I'm going to stick to my phone. It's like, he says, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg to get what I want to do. So yeah, I think I'm just happy with my phone. And the thing with that is, I'm sure there's lots of people that's got phones that's happy with the pictures that come out of them, well happy, because they share thousands of them, millions of them. But there's some people that do want to take things further, and when they face into the cost of all the kit that you may or may not need, it clearly puts them off, and that's a barrier. It's a big barrier for people getting into serious photography. I have just gone right down in some quagmire, so just a word of warning: if you come to Snake Woodland, there's one part that's absolutely quagmire. Now I'm looking for a shot that's going to harness the light, and I've got a bit of a scene in front of me down here where we've got the fallen tree, and we've got some nice light in the background lighting the trees up. I'm going to try a 70mm shot here. Let's see how that comes out. Let's see what this comes out like as well. We've got some sun rays bouncing from behind the trees, so bit of potential there. Let's give it a shot. Summarise the video here then. So we found the waterfall, which was a relief, and didn't get the shot I wanted. I think the first shot with the sort of rapids in front and the background shot would have looked nice, maybe focus stacked, but I didn't get it because of the sun. However, I think the intimate shots looking on the camera look very nice, and I think they'll frame up, they'll crop up where I need to crop them very nicely. And then we've just took some light down here in this woodland. We've made use of this annoying sun and captured a little bit of the light in the woodland. So next video I'll update you on my mpb.com experience. I'm sure it's going to be okay, and we may be looking at the Z30, and I'll explain to you why I've chose the Z30 and the reasons why, and a lot of it is to do with this Osmo 2. Some of the things it does, oh god, it doesn't do. Mud, eep. Yeah, some of the things that the Osmo 2 doesn't do quite good enough. So I'll talk about that in the next video and update you. We might be out somewhere, we might not, depending on the weather. So that's it from Snake Woodland. I'll see you later.